state?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred May 19th, 2024 at 6269 Trickle Bend in South Fulton. The victim in this case is Ebony Alijo, who used to be in a relationship with the defendant. Her and the defendant were having a verbal dispute when the defendant grabbed her by the throat. The victim did not contact the police at that time because she didn't want to get him in trouble, and she was also afraid of his actions. The next day, the victim tried talking to the defendant about the incident that had occurred, and he became upset, pushed her, and then bit her on her thumb and her breast, leaving bruises to both places. The victim told officers that the defendant is on meth and she believes he was using again due to his violent and aggressive behavior. Our office has had a chance to speak with Ms. Alijo, who confirms that her and the defendant are no longer in a relationship. They do not live together and they share no children. The incident location is her residence, and she confirmed the events in the warrant. The defendant has never been violent with her in the past, is what she told our witness advocate or our victim advocate, and she stated that she has not spoken or seen the defendant since this incident. She states she wants no contact and for him to stay away from the residence. It looks like there's currently no bond set on this defendant. The state's recommendation is a $2,500 surety, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. I would ask the court to sound for Miss Ebony Alijo.
Ebony Alicia. I don't think she's on. Okay, PD Rosenhuber.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Finkley is 26 years old. He does reside at the address on file. That's a McDonough address. I can also confirm to echo the state that he has not had contact with the alleged victim and has no plans of returning to that location. So we have no problem with a stay away and a no contact order. Judge, he is a chief marketing officer at Summit Labs and has been since October of 2023. He did get his bachelor's degree from Georgia State University in 2020. And given or hearing that this is his first arrest, we would ask for a bond that does not exceed $1,000.
All right, I will order a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial. I guess he's level 1. No further contact with the victim, Ebony Alicia. Ali didn't spell it out. Wasn't sure how to spell it.
Alijo.
Okay. No further contact with her. Stay away from the incident location and any place where she may work. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. So that should be it, I think.
I am on the line.
Oh, the victim?
Yes,
Why are you just now speaking up?
because I'm at work right now.
Okay, if you're gonna speak, you don't have anything else to add, or if you
I just-
do, you have to turn your video on, and I have to swear you in,
Um,
and you have to put a top on.
I do have a top on.
Cover up. No, that's not gonna get it.
Okay, well, I have nothing to say further then. He trashed my place.
Turn your camera off, because you're not dressed properly for court. You wouldn't get in the courthouse with that or come in the courtroom dressed that way. So if you have a jacket or something you can cover up with, then I'll let you speak.
One moment, please.
Okay.
I have nothing further. Don't worry about it.
All right. Thank you. All right. That's 2,500 signature bond through pretrial, level 1. No further contact.
Next, Your Honor, is going to be position number 2, Mr. Nicholas Brown.
That'll be, Your Honor,
I'm sorry.
that'll be my case.
Oh, okay. 24 CR 00609 Nicholas Brown, charged with 1 count of theft by taking, pretrial.
Second arrest. On
You said
probation.
second or 7?
Number 2.
Yes.
On probation for criminal trespass. Out of state court 22 CR 006-950A. This is second arrest. Number 2.
Second. Okay,
Correct.
thank you. State?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred August 28th, 2024. This is Nicholas Brown, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the incident location is 12215 Belvoir, Belvoir Lane. The defendant is accused of being an accessory to the crime of theft by taking. He was driving his vehicle with a Mr. Smith when they stopped at 12215 Belvoir Lane in Alpharetta, and defendant Smith got out of the vehicle and stole a package from the front porch of Andrew Turney. This defendant Brown, admits that he saw Mr. Smith commit the crime. Mr. Smith brought the package to the car, opened it, and then threw the FedEx packaging that the object came in out of the window. Mr. Brown states that he saw the item, which looked like a small white box similar to that of an iPhone. He currently has a $1,500 surety bond. We are asking for no further contact with the victim, Andrew Turney. No further contact with the other potential defendant, Khalil Smith. Stay away from the incident location. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol. I would ask the court to sound for Mr. Andrew Turney at this time.
And Your Honor, his co-defendant is position number 18, Khalil Smith.
Okay. And the state is recommending that he have no contact with both of them?
Yes, no contact with the victim and no contact with the co-defendant, Mr. Smith.
Okay. All right. Ms. McLeod, is it you? Yes?
No,
No,
No, Your
I'm
Honor.
sorry. You
Mr.
already
Smith.
told me, McLean. I'm sorry.
That's
You
okay.
represent Smith. Thank you.
I suppose, will Ms. McLeod go ahead and represent Khalil Smith today?
That's what she said. Yes.
Okay. So, Your Honor, I don't want to belabor the point that he was, the state can charge him as an accessory. What he said to the police officer, according to the report, of course, there could be more to come on that. I hope that it's on body camera, the statement that my client made, because it does not, what he described was that he saw this and saw that and saw that. And I understand that the state feels that that leads to seeing a crime. It is his second arrest. He is young. He's 29, somewhat young. He has a stable address that is listed on the 3 card, also known as the booking sheet. We would ask just consider signature bond, since this is a theft case that is only his second arrest. And when I say only, I'm not planning for him to have any more. Neither is he.
Well, Mr. Smith was driving the vehicle and then they stopped at the victim's house. Sorry, Mr. Brown was driving the vehicle. They stopped at the victim's house. Mr. Smith got out of the vehicle, proceeded to steal the victim's package from his house, then returned back to the vehicle, opened the package. And that is how Defendant Brown saw this as it was occurring. And that's why he's charged as an accessory, because he was the one driving the vehicle.
Right. I'm just saying, I don't know what he was told they were doing. He was driving the vehicle. He saw what he saw, and he told the police what he saw. So I understand y'all's suspicions, and you may have a case, but you might not. But I'm not trying to try the case here. I'm just asking the court to take that into consideration in setting his bond, that it is a second arrest.
All right. I will grant a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. I will order him to stay away from 12215. I believe it is Belvoir Lane. Have no further contact with the victim, Andrew Turner, or the cross defendant, Mr. Smith, or co-defendant rather, Mr. Smith. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That should be it. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have Mr. Khalil Smith, Your Honor. He's the person who went up on the porch, was captured on camera, taking the package off of Andrew Tierney's porch of his house in the afternoon. This was in Alpharetta.
This
at
who we have
Belmar
before
Lane.
us?
This is position number 18, Mr. Smith.
Okay, let me call that case first.
I apologize. Thank you.
ASG, it's okay. 24 CR 006108H, Khalil Smith, charged at one count of theft by taking. Go ahead, state.
So Mr. Smith,
Oh,
is
I'm
the-
sorry. One last thing, pretrial. What is this history?
My bad. I was reading an email. Who are we on?
I can tell you
Number
this history.
18, Khalil Smith.
Khalil. 9 total. 2024 suspended license and fraud. 2019 possession of a firearm by convicted felon. Unlawful to participate in criminal street gang. Those were dismissed. 2015 entering auto dismissed.
All right.
So Your Honor, this young man has a history, whereas his co-defendant does not. And this young man was seen actually taking the package off the porch at the location, Mr. Tierney's house in Alpharetta. This gentleman was also identified during a show up by the victim. We're asking for a $3,000 SOB through pretrial, if not a surety bond. He needs to be monitored. And we're asking for no contact with his co-defendant, no contact with the victim, and to stay away from that location, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith, we are okay with the signature bonds for retrial and with the other conditions of the bond as requested by the state.
All right. I believe it's a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial.
Yes,
Level,
Your Honor.
level 2 or 3?
2.
2. All right. Level 2. No further contact with the co-defendant and the victim in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't pay no money.
And stay away from the incident location. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's it.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
No. Next, we're gonna go to position number 10, Mr. Hussein, Saeed Hussein.
This is 24 CR 006106C. Saeed Hussein, charged with 2 counts of simple battery, family violence.
I got 2010 FTA. That's all.
That's all. Okay. State.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred August 28th, 2024 at 602 Dalmore Drive in Johns Creek. The defendant is accused of pushing his brother, who has the same name, Saeed Hussein. The party's father did witness the incident. The defendant is also accused of pushing his mother, Nilafor Moriam, as she attempted to go upstairs to get away from the argument. The defendant did admit to pushing his mother, and his father also witnessed the assault. We have had an opportunity to speak with both victims. Saeed Hussein, the defendant's brother, states that they do live together at the incident location. He stated that the defendant was screaming at his mother and pushed her. Mr. Hussein tried to intervene, and that is when the defendant pushed him. Mr. Hussein said this is an ongoing issue and the defendant is becoming more violent. He stated that believe he may have some MH issues and have tried to get him some help, but he refuses. Mr. Hussein would like the defendant to undergo some MH evaluations and treatment, and also wants the defendant to not have any contact and to stay away from the residence. The defendant's mother, Ms. Moriam, also confirmed the events in the warrant and reiterated that she believes the defendant has MH issues and refuses to get help. She says the defendant's behavior has only escalated and everyone in the household is afraid, and she was trying to get a 1013. The defendant has been violent in the past, but they have never called the police until, of course, this past week. She is concerned for her safety if the defendant returns to the residence, but she does state that the defendant has nowhere else to go. There is currently no bond for this defendant. The state's recommendation is $1,000 surety bond on each count, an MHET, no further contact with the victims, and stay away from the incident location. The reason we are asking for a surety bond is to allow an opportunity for this defendant to either get an EHET or an MHET. If the court is not agreeable to a surety, then I would ask that some sort of MH evaluation in order to follow a treatment plan as a part of his bond. And I would ask the court to sound for both victims, Mr. Saeed Hussein and Miss Nilafor Moriam.
Either of those persons on the Zoom call? Nope. Go ahead, PDs.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hussein is 41 years old, and to echo the state, the residence and the incident location is the only place that Mr. Hussein has to go at the moment. I did discuss with him the possibility that the court would put in place a stay away and a no contact order. He advised that he'll find somewhere else to go, and I told him it would be his responsibility to update us with his new address. He did graduate from high school. He is currently enrolled in technical college as a full-time student. I believe he's been subsisting primarily off of family support. I have no objection to a MHET, but given the fact that he won't be able to afford any bond, I would ask for that bond to be done through the jail and through pretrial services rather than as a surety.
Well, if we're gonna do the MHET, it's gonna be a surety.
Okay. I apologize, Judge. I'm not often handling first appearances.
That's okay. Because if I give him a signature bond, he gets out, he probably won't get the MHET.
Okay. Do we still have wraparound services through pretrial or any mental health resources?
Mr. McLean,
We can get the social worker to see him as soon as possible and make further arrangements.
Okay, so maybe a social worker visit, and then if it could be added to the bond condition that he follow any MH treatment plan as part of his bond condition.
Right.
well, that's a given, that's in the order. The question right now is whether he's gonna be a surety or a signature, because he only has one, he does, basically no cycles. So, I'd be inclined to give him a signature bond, but I'm concerned about the MH. So if that needs to happen, then I would just give him maybe a 2,000 surety in the MH to make sure that happens. Or for
Understood.
him to see social services, whichever you guys want to do, just present me the order for it. But let's do a 2,000 surety to make sure he gets that evaluation and obviously follow it. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
What's that bond, please?
2,000 surety.
Instead of 1,000 on each?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we did also request no further contact with the victims based on our conversation with them and a stay away from the
I'm
incident.
sorry. Yes, I did forget those other two. Stay away from the incident location, no further contact with the victim. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Judge, let me ask this here. We have no further contact to stay away. We're doing the social worker visit? Or the
No, MHET.
Okay, gotcha.
No.
And Mr. McLean, will you assist our new PD with that paperwork that she'll need to present, please?
Yes, and when we get into a breakout session on one of my clients anyway today, I'll mention what's happening with the I've got an MHET form, and we do have a pad referral we need signed for tomorrow.
Okay.
And also, excuse me, Judge, the interpreter is on.
Your Honor, we're gonna hold off on the interpreter because the last two are for McLean, or last three.
Okay. Can she stay?
Your Honor, good afternoon. This is the interpreter. Can you all give me an idea of how long will I need to stay for?
Rosa Hoover, can you interview?
Yes. Absolutely. I'm happy
Okay.
to, Judge. If the court will put me in a breakout session, I'm happy to interview.
Okay, thank you so much.
Very appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So who needs to go in the breakout room?
That's gonna be Rosa Hoover, Spanish interpreter, in courtroom 1.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And in front of you, Your Honor, this is gonna be position number 11, Mr. Mays.
All right. This 24 CR 00609-2Y. Aaron Mays, charged with 1 count of theft by taking, pretrial.
8 total. Last arrest was 2022. CWAC charge, false imprisonment, trespass. Appears to have an open theft case out of California. 2018 theft of property, 2016 FTA, 2016 battery conviction. 2023, he got an SB charge and a simple battery trespass conviction, and appears to be homeless according to the booking.
Your Honor, that's my case. This is from yesterday, the 28th of August. At about 2:30 p.m., police were notified at the Margaret Mitchell Square public or central library that a young woman had reported her iWatch had been taken off her work area. She said that the phone was connected to her iWatch, and it was showing that the watch could be located at the corner of Forsyth and Williams Street. Police relocated to that area and saw 2 gentlemen. They asked the defendant, who was one of them, if he'd found an iWatch. He admitted he'd found the iWatch and pulled it from his bag. He said he was going to turn it in, but he never did. And of course, he'd already left the library. But then he admitted that he was taking it and that he was planning on wearing it. And when they inventoried the items in his book bag, they recovered other stolen items, but were unable to tell where they came from. We're asking for an SOB through pretrial, Your Honor. Level 2, $1,000 would be good, I think, but we'll leave that to your discretion, and stay away from the Central Library at 1 Margaret Mitchell, and no contact with the victim. Her name is Sophia Green, Green Colantuno, Colantuno. Thank you.
And I think the pretrial say he had an open case in California.
The information I have is he's got history out of Florida and California and Georgia. The most recent history looks like it is Georgia. And there does appear to be some open issues.
Pretrial, will we take him or not?
I didn't know.
No, I didn't think so.
So we'd ask for a surety bond then, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me order a $2,000.
Your Honor.
Surety. Oh, I didn't give you a chance. I'm sorry, Mr. McLean.
He already has a $1,000 surety.
Got $1,000 right now.
We'd ask that alone.
Okay. All right, I will leave it at a 1,000 surety. Stay away from the Margaret Mitchell Library. And no further contact with the victim, Sophie Green, Tolanto Row or something. Tolanto. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. 1,000 surety.
Right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Your Honor, this is gonna be position number 15, Mr. Rodriguez.
Is 24 CR 006094F. Jonathan Rodriguez. One count of battery, family violence, second count of criminal trespass. Pretrial.
I forgot how many total. 2023 trespass. That's out of Gwinnett. Open PI charge out of Cherokee. Open battery DV as well. Fulton County, I got speeding, reckless driving, seatbelt violation. That's open. It's 24 CR 004 224E. I got a 2021 CWAC misdemeanor conviction.
Okay.
Your Honor, that's my case. The defendant does have open cases in Gwinnett County and Cherokee County. He's got felony conviction in 2019, drug and obstruction here in Fulton County, and a CWAC case that was originally charged as a felony, but he was allowed to plead to a misdemeanor. This incident occurred at about 4 p.m. at 2732 Hemingway Lane in Roswell. Yesterday, the 28th of August. The defendant went to the location, which is an apartment complex where his parents live and his brother lives. He'd been told he was not supposed to be there. He actually spoke to his dad, who reiterated to him that the leasing department had reported that if he was at the location, they were going to be evicted. Leasing office spoke to his father yesterday and reiterated that the defendant was laying on the ground in front of the residence. So when his father, Carlos Perez, went to let his son know that he needed to leave, Jonathan got up and pushed his father violently out of the way, causing him to receive a bruise on his arm, and he forced his way into the house and laid down on the couch. His mother, or the wife of his father, I should say, Margarita Perez, was present, as well as his brother, also named Carlos, and they spoke to police as well. So he's charged with criminal trespass for remaining on the property after being told and understanding that he shouldn't be there, and he's charged with battery for causing the bruising on his father. He made admissions on the scene. We're asking for a $2,000 surety, no contact, stay away from the location, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. I would note that the open family violence battery in Cherokee County appears to be someone he's related to. Obviously, they were living together, but that is open, and that was from August of last year and still pending. So there's a concern for reoffending and a concern for the victims in this case, Your Honor.
All right, PD McLean.
Your Honor, my client is only 22 years old, does have these problems that the state has mentioned, right? The amount of the bond, if the court is not inclined to a signature bond, then we would suggest something in the neighborhood of $2,000 or $3,000.
I'm going to order the $2,000 surety bond. $1,500 on the battery, family violence, and $500 on the criminal trespass. Stay away from 2732 Hemingway Lane. Well, actually, is that an apartment complex that he doesn't live in, I'm assuming? Sometimes I will go ahead and say to stay away
Correct.
from the whole complex.
He needs to stay away from the entire complex. He's not a resident there, and he continues to go to that location and make problems for his family who are.
Okay. Stay away from that apartment complex. No further contact with the victims. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Your Honor, I believe, this is a breakout from Mr. McLean, Mr. Slade, Vernon Slade.
Okay,
Your Honor, there is a relative of Mr. Slade's who, if they did stay on the Zoom the whole time we've been in court, if they're still available, I think their last name's going to show up as Slade. And I think they may have information that would be helpful to go into the breakout room with.
and is there family member,
Hello?
Mr. Slade?
Hello?
Yes. You're
I'm
gonna
here.
speak to me, you need to turn on your camera, please, ma'am.
Oh, wait a minute, we found it.
All right, and you are whom to the defendant? Hello? You're muted.
Hello? Okay, now you can hear me? I'm sorry.
There we go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm Camilla Slade, his sister.
Judge, you're muted. You're muted, Judge.
Sorry about that. All right, you are his sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you on the scene with this incident?
No, but I do know about it now. I found out that
Not asking you what you found out. That was just a
Oh,
question first, yes
yeah.
or no. You were not on the scene and you found out about it afterwards. So this is not his trial, this is his bond hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And
His
Yeah,
wife was, but she was unable to do the Zoom because of the kids. She had to get the kids.
all right, well, I can't let you testify as to what she thought or knew or didn't know. That
Mm-hmm.
will
no,
not be allowed. I'm sorry,
no,
Mr. McLean.
she's just here to talk about medications.
Okay. Are we supposed to be in a breakout or are we just not streaming?
I thought we were, or did we go in the breakout yet? Or
No, we're not in a breakout.
Okay,
I-
who all is going in the breakout, Judge?
I have no idea.
Anna Allen, Mr. McLean, Mrs. Camilla, and the judge,
Yes.
please, as
Okay.
well as
there we go.
Miss Iman Cheney from our victim advocate group.
Okay.
Do you want Miss Rosenhover, if she's back or not?
Miss
Uh,
Rosenhuber, if you want to join us.
Sure, if she's available, certainly.
I'm here. I'm ready.
Okay.
Melissa,
Yes.
can you turn off Ramirez's camera, please? She ain't supposed to have no kid in the court. She doing way too much.
Can't have the kid in the court.
So I wouldn't know what they're talking
Did the judge want to put me in a breakout session with them?
I believe so.
Okay. They left me here. But if anybody could put me in there, that'd be great.
Who's that speaking?
That was Sarah Rosenhuber with the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, I don't even see your name. Oh, because you were here. Okay, I got you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Slade. This is position 16, 24 CR 0060988. We're back on the record. Mr. Slade, I'm going to grant you a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. But there's a condition of that. And the condition is that you stay on your medication and that or any treatment that's needed. Your sister cares about you a whole lot and is willing to support you as well. So can you do that? Can't hear you. Can you unmute him? Okay, will you do that?
Yes, I do have medication I take. They didn't believe again that I was on my medication of Abilify, and I had got off of Respidol and paid a $1,500.
Don't name it. Don't name what it is. Just say.
Okay, I got off one and I was paid a $1,500 check, so I had to stay off of that. The Abilify I'm on now, I had to stop because they come. I'm sorry, but they come in with a officer.
Don't make this long because I'm not going through your medical history. I'm just saying whatever medication that you need to be on.
My bedroom and made me take medicine.
Okay, all I'm saying is if I let you out, you're gonna have to agree to take the medication that is ordered and prescribed to you. Okay, and don't go back to the pediatrician's office. You got to stay away from there, and no further contact with the nurse that was assaulted there. Okay, until you're off bond. No other drugs, unprescribed medication, alcohol, guns, or weapons while on bond.
Yes,
and let your family help you and cooperate with them. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And
Thank you.
Mrs. Bridgewater, the victim's name is Anna Benjamin, ANNA. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I go through and write everything down.
Nice to meet you. Yes.
All right.
And
That's it.
What's the bond?
2,500 SOB jail.
Oops, I'm sorry, Judge.
Go ahead. It doesn't matter. We have how many more?
The interpreter case.
Oh,
Your Honor, right after the court, I'm going to submit to the court the pad thing for a fellow. I've got to prepare it by blanking out some things and modifying an existing order.
yeah, Miss Bridgewater get on you for that.
I will get that,
she'll be.
Mr. McLean. However, they need it in a timely fashion because they pick up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they have to head over to the jail in a timely manner. So, is this interpreter case your case?
No.
Oh,
I'll handle this.
She wants you to go start drafting. How about that? I'm reading her mind.
Yes,
that
thank you.
Is the point. Exactly. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, this is position numbers 8 and 9. 24 CR 06103G and 24 CR 00610 Do you have that, Miss Lucia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And the first case, he has one count of criminal trespass, second count criminal trespass and damage to property. The second case, giving false information and criminal trespass. Are these all the same locations or victims or different?
They're all the same location, Your Honor.
Okay, that helps. All right. Miss Lucia will go a little slow for you so you can catch it.
Okay, Your Honor.
So you want to sound for both cases for me?
Okay. Este es el caso 24CR06103G y el caso 24CR6104G.
All right. Pre-trial.
Yeah, it's Essence. Who we on? Gonzalez. Third arrest, last arrest was on the 19th. trespass, obstruction, possession of a Schedule 1, possession of drug-related objects. That's 24 PI 006042. I also got an open trafficking meth, possession of a firearm during the commission, trespass, possession of a Schedule 2. That's 24 SC number. Hold on. 24 SC 000995. That's it. Judge, I'll be right back. I gotta see what Judge Morrow wants.
Okay.
Y los antecedentes son, este es el tercer arresto de las personas del señor González. El primero fue por traspaso, después tiene uno por dar información equivocada, tiene un arresto también por una cosa de tráfico. And Your Honor, I'm sorry, I missed the last arrest. It was due to a vehicle.
I think it was open trafficking methamphetamine.
Okay, traffic and meth. Okay.
Yes.
Y tiene un
Not the
cargo.
traffic part. I'm sorry. Okay. I just understood.
Y tiene un cargo de abierto por traficar metanfetaminas.
Thank you. All right. State?
Yes, Your Honor. Both incidents occurred at Eagles Crest Village Apartments located at 555 Eagles Crest Village Lane in Roswell.
Los episodios sucedieron en los departamentos de Eagles Crest Village, que están ubicados en el 55 Eagles Crest Village Parkway en Roswell.
The first incident occurred August 7th, 2024. August 2nd, 2024. The defendant is accused of entering and remaining in a vacant apartment at the Eagles Crest apartment complex. He entered through a window.
La primera acusación sucedió el 2 de agosto del 2024. Está acusado de entrar a un departamento vacío y permanecer ahí. Y entró por la ventana.
He is also accused of damaging the interior door of the apartment.
También es acusado de haber dañado, lastimado la parte interior de la puerta del departamento.
He currently has a $1,500 surety bond on the criminal trespass and a $1,500 surety bond on the criminal trespass and damage to property. The state is requesting that.
Repeat that again.
He has a $1,500 surety bond on each count.
For both cases or just the first case?
Just the first case.
Okay.
En ese primer caso tiene usted dos fianzas aseguradas, una por $1,500 por el de traspaso y otro $1,500 también por el de traspaso y daño a la propiedad privada.
Given his history and open cases, the state is requesting that that bond remain the same, as well as a stay away from the incident location. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol, and a social worker visit may be appropriate in this case.
All right.
Dado lo que la fiscalía está sugiriendo para ese caso es mantener la fianza, no reducirla, sino en ese precio y permanecer lejos de esa dirección. Y mientras está bajo fianza, no consumo ni uso de drogas, no puede tener armas y no puede consumir bebidas alcohólicas.
All right. And who's on the line? Who's Alexandra Ramirez?
I believe that is his wife, Your Honor.
You're his wife?
Yes, ma'am. Would you like me to present the second case so we could just do them both?
Go ahead, and then I'll come back to you, ma'am, okay? Okay, go ahead.
The second case occurred August 24th, 2024 at the same apartment complex. It was just a different unit.
Okay.
El segundo arresto fue el 24 de agosto del 2024. Sucedió en el mismo complejo de apartamentos, nada más diferente departamento, diferente unidad.
This time, the defendant was found unclothed in the apartment with a female.
En este evento, el acusado fue encontrado sin ropa con una mujer dentro del departamento.
When officers asked for his identifying information, he gave the fake name of Jose Ramirez.
Cuando los agentes le pidieron su información, él dio un nombre falso de José Ramírez.
He currently has no bond set for this incident.
No tiene fianza puesta para ese incidente.
The state is requesting a $250 surety on each count, which would make his total bond amount for both cases $3,500, given all the open cases that he has and his history. The same conditions: stay away from the incident location, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol.
La fiscalía pide $250 de fianza para ambas acusaciones de estas, lo cual hace un total de $3,500 y obviamente las mismas reglas, que permanezca lejos de esa ubicación, no drogas, no alcohol, no armas.
All right. And let me do this. Miss Ramirez. She may be gone.
I think it was too much for her to hear.
It was too much, yeah. All right, I understand. Let me kind of cut to the chase. Miss Rosen Hoover, do you disagree with my surety bond rulings, or tell me where you feel we should go with this?
Judge, I would not object to a total of a $3,500 bond that the state suggested.
Okay. And then I'll
Y,
put some other condition. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss.
sorry, that's all right. Y la jueza pidió a la abogada defensora si es que tiene alguna objeción, y no existe ninguna objeción para la fianza de un total de $3,500.
All right, and then we'll just put some conditions on there. Seems to be possibly some drug issues and things going on, so we'll just put those conditions on there. First case, position 8 will be a $3,000 surety bond, $1,500 on each charge.
Y esta es lo que la jueza determina. Por el primer caso, es un bono asegurado por $3,000 por ambos cargos, en el caso de los dos cargos primero.
And he is to stay away from the Eagles Crest Village Apartments complex. Stay away from the whole complex.
Tiene que permanecer lejos de todo el complejo de apartamentos de Eagles Crest Lane.
He needs to find somewhere else to live
Necesita buscar dónde más vivir
while he's on bond.
mientras usted está bajo fianza.
He is to find or enroll in a drug treatment program if he's not already in one.
Si es que no está en un programa de tratamiento para drogas, necesita encontrar uno y matricularse a seguir un programa de drogas.
Because he has, I know, two or three open drug cases. So there's obviously a problem.
Porque tiene 2 o 3 casos abiertos de drogas, entonces obviamente es un problema.
He should put his hand down. It's not time for him to talk.
Y puede bajar la mano. Este no es el momento para que usted hable.
All right. The second case, I'm going to grant a $500 surety bond, $250 on each of the charges.
En el
Go ahead. I think they're just kind of in the background.
En el segundo caso, va a darle 2 fianzas, cada una por $250, un total de $500 para el segundo caso.
All right. And same conditions, no drugs, unprescribed medication, alcohol, or weapons while on bond for either case.
Y las mismas condiciones, no drogas, no medicinas sin receta, no armas y no bebidas alcohólicas.
And again, I'll let it be his choice, but he does need to enroll in a drug treatment program and comply with the evaluation as well as any medication that they may prescribe for him.
Usted puede escoger qué programa de drogas en cuál matricularse, pero la orden de la juez es que se matricule y encuentre un programa para drogas.
Okay. And I see Miss Ramirez is back. Miss Ramirez, do you speak English well, or you do? Okay, I'm gonna have Miss Rosenhoover to give you a call.
Yes,
Do you want to
ma'am.
tell her your number? We're not streaming. You can give her your phone number and or do you already have it?
She doesn't have it. I'll give it to her.
Okay.
Yes, we back on streaming, Judge.
Oh, take me
Put
off
it in the
streaming
chat.
for a minute. Put it in the chat. Do you know how to
Yeah.
work the chat feature, Miss Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am. I can just tell it over. I'm okay. I can just tell it over the video. If that's okay.
That's fine.
It's
Yeah.
678-387
Mhm.
0873.
Okay.
And
And
can I speak one thing, please?
I do see your message in the chat. He has an attorney. Well, the
Yes,
attorney is the public defender. You've hired a private attorney?
no, ma'am. I actually just have a question for the interpreter, if that's okay. If you can say it over the line for him that
Depends on what it is.
he was in the bed with another woman. Is that correct?
We're not going there. We're not going to go there because that's not a part of what I'm doing right here. This is not a trial. This is just his
No, yes,
bond hearing. And so
Yes.
I understand you're upset, but that's something you're going to need to talk to his attorney about. And
Okay.
she will, once he makes bond, you all can deal with that. I apologize. Sometimes you do hear the hard, cold facts when we're here.
ma'am.
And I would just tell you to get some counseling and some help. I know that is difficult to hear. But I've ordered your husband to get some drug counseling and treatment, and
No.
because he's got open cases and seems like he has a problem with drugs.
He does.
Yes, and he needs to stay with that treatment, be evaluated, and that's a condition. If we find out he's not and he catches another case, he'll just stay in jail.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
maybe,
So
maybe
does that
if
mean he'll
that's
be
where he wants to
released?
be. I'm sorry.
Does that mean he'll be released?
Well, no, it's a surety bond, so he has to go through a bonding company. So it's not a signature bond. I'm sorry. So no, he
Yes.
still has to go through a bonding company.
Yes.
Okay, so he'll be sitting there until bonding company approves him, if they do or not. But it's a total of $3,500, 3,000 on the first case, 500 on the second case. But the attorney will give you a call and explain some more. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Can she give me a call right now?
I'm still in court at this moment, but when I'm released from court, I'm happy to call you.
Yes,
It'll
ma'am.
be it'll be shortly, not too long.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
She's gonna call you later, explain everything.
Okay. Miss Lucia, let's see. That will conclude these cases. Anything else? I think we're done with Mr. Ramirez.
Eso es todo, señor Ramírez.
End of the calendar, Your Honor.
Huh?
Is that the end of the calendar?
I think so.
I think so too.
Deputy, aren't we done?
Excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Hi. I've been sitting on this in court with you guys since 2:00. My daughter Raven Swinger was supposed to appear. I went to the jail and they gave me the Zoom call and the passcode to get into this court.
Uh-huh.
Can someone give me some information referencing her situation?
State, do you know anything? Was she on the pull sheet or?
I can speak.
She wasn't on mine.
Okay. Go
So
ahead, Ms. Rosenhuber.
She was not on the pull sheet. She already made bond on her 2 misdemeanor offenses, but they were still showing on the jail screen. Really what's holding her in is a misdemeanor probation hold, and I explained to Ms. Swinger earlier today during interviews that that's not what today was for. We weren't handling probation cases, and if she has already made bond on the underlying offenses, then she doesn't really need to be brought for a first appearance.
Right. So will she be
Okay.
on the SAP calendar for next week? Is that what's gonna happen? Maybe?
Excuse me, Judge, we no longer do probations. It goes back to the division judge now.
Gotcha. Okay. So it'll go back to the division judge, but we don't know what date to give her, correct?
No, ma'am, her mother may need to contact probation and see, but we don't have
They
that.
have a date yet. We don't have a date on
No,
that,
ma'am.
ma'am. So we apologize that you had to sit
Okay.
all that time.
Yes. So, is there a particular number that I'm supposed to call? Because I have no knowledge of anything.
Does anybody have probation's number for her to call?
404
Uh-huh.
591
Uh-huh.
3180.
3180.
And they're located at 32 Mitchell Street.
32 Mitchell.
Around the corner from the courthouse.
Okay.
Yes, 132 Mitchell Street, ma'am. Right,
All right.
corner from the courthouse, okay?
Thank
All
you so
right.
much, you ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All
Your
right.
Honor, if that is all for me, may I be excused?
Yes, Miss Lucia, I was holding you hostage. I like to keep you with sometime, but I will let you go till tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. Okay, thank you so much as usual.
Have a good afternoon, everybody.
All right, you too. Let me ask this. This is something that came up yesterday. Are we still streaming our administrative reconciliation? Miss Grace?
I believe so. I believe that's what she was saying yesterday.
That wasn't Miss Grace. That was Miss Lewis.
True, it was.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was that?
Do you continue to stream our administrative reconciliation part now that court is over? I know you
I wasn't-
recorded. Do
I
you
wasn't
live
told
stream it?
anything different.
All right, I'll get back to that when we come back, because honestly, this is not court. This is the administrative reconciliation.
Exactly. I
And it
understand
does
what you're
not need to
saying.
be live streamed at
Mhm.
all. It really
Exactly. I
does
can turn
not.
it off. Yep, I can
Please
turn it off,
do.
Judge.
And they can get on judgment. See, we don't need to have this live
Okay,
stream.
no problem. Let me turn
Just
it off.
record it.